From Hollywood, The Tonight Show, starring Johnny Carson. This is Ed McMahon, along with Doc Severinsen and the NBC Orchestra, inviting you to join Johnny and his guests, Bob Hope, Steve Martin, animal expert Jim Fowler, and consumer advocate David Horowitz. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Thank you. I thank you. I welcome you. How are you tonight? You sound great. Incidentally, the following are paid political jokes. Obviously, I didn't pay enough for that one right there. Welcome back. Doc's been... I have not seen you for...
Well, it's been 3 or 4 days at least, hasn't it?
No, Doc was working up in Las Vegas. Are you still working there?
Yes, up with George Burns.
He's working with George Burns. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still there with Steve and Edie.
Oh.
What are you
nice
doing
to
this
be
weekend?
here with you, though.
What?
It's very nice to be here with you.
Thank you. Nice to have you guys
Nice to be here with you.
I'm going out to Mona Freeman's house over the weekend. Look at her new luggage. Understand. I have a great monologue for you tonight. Or would you rather have stovetop stuffing? Now, be honest. Stovetop stuffing over here. Well, last night we had a strange crowd. What was the word I'm looking for? Dumb. Dumb crowd. They thought S.I. Hayakawa was something you cooked at the table. Just a strange thought came through my mind.
What?
I wonder what Elliot Gould wears on Halloween. Well, I suppose it's not important. Well, the election is next Tuesday night. Presidential debates are now history. Interesting statistics from the networks today. You know how much they lost on carrying the 3 presidential debates? $6 million. Because they had no commercials. All of the networks lost $6 million because they couldn't have one commercial on them. Oh, isn't that terrible? I know one commercial they could have used. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Would have helped there. You, by the way, how many... According to the pollsters, Lou Harris came out today. George Gallup said that the presidential race right now is too close, and neither one of them are going to call it. That's how close it is. They said that they couldn't do that because most Americans are a little undecided about the candidates, and most voters feel that their vote is too important to waste on Ford or Carter. Jimmy Carter one time had a 33% lead right after the Democratic convention, and he's lost the big lead. And according to some pollsters, Gerald Ford is now slightly ahead. Carter's a little bit worried. He says he announced if he's elected, he's going to do away with polls. And he didn't get a laugh with it either. So, do you realize if Gerald Ford is elected, Robert Dole is just a heartbeat away from not being qualified either? Have you seen Dole? He works a little bit like Don Rickles. Yeah, Dole is kind of a hatchet man, and he's been out in Montana, and they had a snowstorm there, and he had to cancel several speaking engagements. And Dole, first of all, blamed the Democrats for the snow, and said it should have been left to free enterprise. Dole didn't get a laugh either in Montana. Well, Dole can be a little nasty. You know, he came out in favor of cockfight expansion teams. That's right. Now, Walter Mondale, who's Carter's running mate, has been having a rough go. They have been booking Mondale to speak for 4 groups where they don't have many members. He's spoke for a lot of obscure groups. Yesterday, he attended a luncheon for penny arcade cashiers. Then he shook hands at an Ottoman Upholsterers Union Hall hiring meeting. And next week, he's going to address a convention of gay blacksmiths. So the just, people seem to be turned off for this election. I don't know why people should get out and vote. But you know, people are apathetic when you see a bumper sticker when it says, "What's his name for president?" I called today to see where I should go to vote, and the guy said, "Your house. You're the only one registered." Ring-a-boom, bing, boom. Vice President Rockefeller, remember him? He was out campaigning for Ford today, and the Rockefeller addressed a group of farmers. Now, let's be honest. I don't think Nelson Rockefeller really understands the needs of farmers. He promised to supply each outhouse with a men's room attendant. That's what he promised to do. Politicians have said nothing funny here at all tonight, have they? See, California is a weird state. We've got a lot of propositions out here. We have Proposition, 13 that may legalize dog racing. Very controversial. We have Proposition 14, another controversial one, has to do with the farm workers and voting and so forth. But we have a lot of strange propositions on the ballot out here in California. Only California would have propositions like Proposition Q. It allows the oil companies the rights to drill in Fonzie's hair. You familiar with Proposition 27? Would establish Hollywood Boulevard as a Lady of the Evening national park. Proposition 31 provides funds to install CB radios in zoos so truckers can talk to monkeys. Proposition F, that is provide funds for putting in a third restroom for transsexuals. Only in California would you have that. Yes, sir. How about Proposition S? What?
What's that?
Provides funds for establishing of the Mary Hartman Foundation for Snorting at Berkeley. It's kind of a... Anyway, we got a great show tonight. Mr. Bob Hope is here. Steve Martin, Jim Fowler, and David Horowitz. See, Budweiser is smarter than most sponsors. First, they get your attention. Yeah. This is Lisa, and Lisa, you got a muff there.
Yes, I do know.
What? You don't... What? Oh, and you have some beer in there. Well, these used to be very stylish. Remember when the girls...
Still is.
What? Still is. Was there a reason for that being in there?
Yes. I'm keeping it warm.
I see. Okay. No, you're keeping it cold. And now, something colder than usual from Budweiser. For the first time, the world champion Clydesdales in the snow.
Here comes the king, here comes the big number one. Budweiser beer, the king is second to none. Just say Budweiser, you've said it all. Here comes the king of beer, so lift your glass, let's hear the call. Budweiser beer's the one that's leading the rest. When you say Bud, and Beechwood aging makes it beer at its best. When you say Bud, one taste will tell you, so loud and clear. There's only one Budweiser beer, there's only one Budweiser beer. When you say Bud, there's nothing left you can say. When you say Bud, the king is right on his way. When you say Bud, the king is coming. Let's hear the call. When you say Bud, you said it all. When you say Bud, you said it all.
It's time once again for a visit from someone who drops by all too infrequently. Would you please welcome dear, sweet, lovable, old Aunt Gladys. trying to help you.
Leave me
Blabby.
alone. Keep your hands off me, you pervert. I'm spoken for.
Aunt Blabby, it's very nice to see you again.
Thank you, bozo. Good to see you. Would you mind breathing in the other direction? You're melting my car keys.
Aunt Blabby, how is everything going?
Slowly.
Slowly.
Very slowly. At my age, you know, if you eat 3 Nabisco wafers and a banana in the same week, they form a log jam. But I've got some big news.
You've got some big news?
What was the matter with the way I said it? Yes, I've got some big... I'm in love.
What?
Yes, I'm getting married.
Oh, that's wonderful,
Ah,
Aunt
yes.
Blabby. You're so happy. You're finally plighted your troth.
I did what?
You got betrothed.
Is that like getting lucky?
Yes.
Yeah, then I did that all right. Yeah.
My heartiest congratulations, Aunt Blabby. Who is the lucky man?
Buford Hawkins.
Well, what does he do?
Buford's a scarecrow repairman. Not a big call for that,
No.
so we'll have a lot of time together. You know, there's going to be another long fight in the trench, isn't it? You know, when I look at Buford, chills run up and down my spine.
He's that attractive?
No, but chills always run up and down my spine, but this time it's the real thing.
You mean you both want to get
Of
married?
course we both want to get married. We don't have to get married. It's not one of those things like yours where you just squeaked in under the wire.
Tell us about your fiancé. Is he close to your age?
You could say that. He's well along in years.
His hair has turned to silver?
Yes, and everything else has turned to lead, too. Yeah. Not what he was. Buford loves me from my mind. He's not much of a connoisseur of physical beauty.
Well, what makes you say that?
Well, Buford's the only farmer in the county who bought a flat-chested cow.
How old a man is he? How old a man is he? How old a man?
Buford's 92. Says all his life he's been looking for a woman like me.
Really?
Now that he's got me, he can't remember why. You know, when you get that age, the memory is the second thing to go. Don't ask.
Aunt Blabby, you must be an optimist. If you check the statistic, you realize it's really tough to make a go of a marriage these days.
Yeah.
I only mention that in passing.
Never say passing to an old lady. Besides, I know this marriage is gonna last.
What makes you so sure?
He's already given me the ring.
Oh,
You see that?
nice.
My arthritis, he's never gonna get it back.
Tell me, Aunt Blabby, was it love at first sight?
I knew he was my kind of man. He wasn't dead.
Did he woo you with candy and flowers?
Not exactly. I got a Western Union Maalox-gram.
Now, was he...
Excuse me.
Excuse me. Careful with your cane.
Yes.
Was he a... was he a gentleman during the courtship?
He courted me the proper way. Damn it. He took me one night to a coma festival, then to a wheelchair demolition derby. Then it happened.
What happened?
He gave me an old person's soul kiss.
Now, wait a minute. What's an old person's soul kiss?
When you're through kissing, you have the other person's teeth.
That's a good one.
Oh, you ought to try that. I'll set you free, I'll tell you.
Well, I'll
I'm
tell
talking kissing.
I'll tell you one thing, Aunt
Yes.
Blabby. It's kind of sad that you're out of circulation.
Don't say circulation to an old lady.
Okay, now have you any wedding plans?
Of course. I told you we're getting married. Naturally, we have wedding
Well, I
plans.
mean, after the ceremony.
Dumbbell. We're getting married at the Lady of the Sacred Heart and Lung Machine Church.
What kind of wedding does Buford want?
Well, he wants to elope. He's already started up the ladder to my window. Should be up there about Tuesday next. Hard to climb a ladder with a cane and a stroller.
Have you, have you picked out your wedding dress? What will you wear?
Well, something old, something new, something borrowed. My veins are already blue, so I don't have to get that.
Aunt Blabby, I'll bet you're really looking forward to the wedding.
Not really.
Oh?
Well, at my age, I don't particularly enjoy being a bride. Very uncomfortable when the rice gets caught in my wrinkles. I knew we should have cut that one. Knew it when I saw it.
Are you having a big wedding?
Just the immediate paramedics.
Who's the best man?
The janitor at the home, but don't tell Buford.
Did your friends give you a bridal shower?
Yes, I received a lot of nice gifts.
Oh, like what?
Well, I got a sterling silver bedpan, peekaboo thermal 90, and a senior citizen's sex manual.
Wait a minute, what's a senior citizen sex manual?
I'm glad you asked. It's called Everything you always wanted to know about sex, but were afraid you wouldn't live through it. Well, it's getting late.
Oh, are you departing?
Don't say departing ever to an old person.
Well, I wish you much happiness and pleasure.
Well, I bless you,
Thank
Bozo,
you.
but I gotta run now.
All right.
I gotta go now.
Well, all right.
Well,
Why are you leaving now?
I'm going to join Buford.
Where is he?
What?
Where is he?
Thank you. You set him up, I'll do the snappers.
Right.
Buford's in a porno movie, taking notes for a honeymoon.
Oh, that's good. Thank you so much. Tonight's show will return after we pause for this message of interest, so stay right there.
Look at this is cooking, it's a meal. Oh, real goodness from the Colonel, here's a meal. It's finger-licking good, so you know it's alright to let the Colonel's people do your cooking tonight. You want a good meal, but you don't want a fuss. Come to the people you know you can trust. Real goodness from Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Come to find the beautiful fragrance of Jean-Tout. Sensual, but not too far from innocence. Jean-Tout. The beautiful fragrance, sensual, but not too far from innocence. Jean-Tout from Revlon. Wear it and be wonderful.
We are back. Thank you, Doc. Good to see Doc back again. We have with us tonight Mr. Bob Hope. We have funny man Steve Martin and David Horowitz, who is our consumer advocate reporter, ombudsman, who didn't get on. We ripped David off the other night. He was supposed to get on, and we ran out of time. And this gentleman, who's been with us frequently, used to work with Marlon Perkins, remember?
Yes.
Marlon would always be saying, while Jim is capturing the wild cheetah, I'm going to move downstream and set up my blind in case the cheetah will run and jump on my face. Well, but,
Right into the commercial.
That's right. Well, yes. So, disaster doesn't strike you in the face. Here's a word from Mutual of Omaha. Jim is an expert on animal behavior.
Yes.
And he's at the right place. And I understand because Halloween is so near, he's got some strange animals tonight. I never like to peek beforehand because you're getting ready to move down?
I'll move down there, yes.
All right. Would you welcome Jim Fowler? I've told you before, I envy your work. I saw you a couple of weeks ago on another show, and I think you were in Africa at the time. It was just fascinating again. You get to travel every place. And
Yeah.
you ever been hurt at all on one of those things, by an animal?
Yeah.
To any great extent?
I have been very, very lucky because when you're working with wild animals, you're much more cautious. You know if something can kill you, you really try to play it for real. And I think the closest I've ever come is with elephants. Elephants are just so big and relatively unpredictable, but I've come very close to that.
Do they?
I had an elephant walk over me one night.
You had an elephant while you were
Step over
sleeping?
me while I was sleeping. Yeah. It's
Well, if he hadn't, you wouldn't know it anyway, would you?
Yeah.
Good heavens.
When
You
you
woke up
see
the
the-
next morning and saw...
Well, you see the prince beside you in the morning, it shakes you up a little bit. It's like a hotel in New York, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know who's going to step on you. What spooky animals have you brought tonight?
Well, we were talking about the Halloween theme, so I brought some things that are generally not necessarily very popular with people, things that you wouldn't normally necessarily have as a pet.
Oh, wait, hold it a second. Is this one of the...
This is one of them, yeah.
Well, that can't be
I don't
too,
know how
too-
often these have been seen.
Too spooky. I mean, it's in a little bag.
I don't know how often these have been seen on television. This is not the ordinary thing that you can just go out and buy at the supermarket or the pet shop either. But you're going to have to hold this bag for
Oh,
me
well,
while
I'll
I
hold the
take it
bag.
out.
You...
You hold it like that. And, this is what
is
it is, right?
Yeah.
Hold that
It's a
bag.
bat.
And let me see if I can get in
It's a
there.
bat.
Oh.
There we Can you hold the bag?
Yeah, well, I'm not going to hold that.
Just hold it right like that. Don't worry. I'll be very careful. Okay, now hold the bag. Hold the bag.
I'm holding the bag, Jim.
Oh, all right. Wait a minute. That's it. There you go.
Oh.
It's a little...
It's really cute.
Right. You know, a person should have an... You hear that sound, by the way?
Yeah.
That's the echolocation sound. That's the... You know, bats have radar. And this is the sound that they emit when they're flying, and that bounces back off of an insect. And this is how they find it and actually catch it. He's not being hurt. This is... I'm holding him very carefully.
I don't care if you're hurting him.
If you want to hold that...
No, I mean, I do. Now, come on. Don't write me letters.
Wait a minute. I'll let him... That's all right, John. That's all right. I'll let him sit right here a minute. That's okay.
What's he keep going?
Well,
What's he doing?
You know, he's warming up in the lights is what's happening. And he was a little cooler earlier, and he was...
Why do people fear those so much? I know why. That's a bad news-looking animal.
Looks like trouble.
reason.
It's a flying mammal.
Well, you know, because of Dracula. Let's face it, because of Dracula and all that stuff.
Vampire bats.
And vampire bats.
Are there such a thing?
There are definitely vampire bats. Excuse me, I didn't mean...
Sorry.
If you can hold that wing, I'll get the bag away from him.
Oh, to hell with it.
Maybe somebody from the audience.
Hold the
I'm
wing
going to
yourself.
have to get Marlon to come in and help me.
I'll hold the wing of the bat. Meanwhile, Jim is downstream.
I'll just hold that for a second, and just hold it carefully, and I'll get him right back in. All right, now let go. Let go.
Let go?
Yeah. Very well done. There's back.
Jeez.
See,
now
goes
he's
back
quiet.
in the cover of that.
Oh, he wants to get back in there, right?
Now,
But,
what
you know,
about the old
let me
myth
tell
that
you about-
bats... Oh, go ahead. Excuse
You know, you ask about vampire bats, and, you know, they're for real. They're one of the few things that Hollywood really has not exaggerated about. I mean, they really like to drink blood. And,
Couldn't you brought one tonight?
well,
It's
I
blood
did,
day,
but
it's-
the problem was that I found out that it was very difficult to get blood in your NBC commissary.
Not on Thursday.
No.
Let's see. Was meatloaf yesterday? No, it's blood day. It's blood day today. How much blood would a bat use?
Quite a bit. In fact, a vampire, which has a wingspread of about like that, will drink about a cup of blood a day.
Where do they get
And,
it?
Anywhere they
No, I'm serious. From animals?
They get it from animals. In fact, if you go to South America and look at a herd of cattle or horses in the morning, you'll usually find blood smears down the side. The vampire, not to get too gory about it, although it's coming up Halloween, but the vampire has a little split in its lip. And when it bites an animal, it lets the blood drip to the ground. Then it goes down to the ground and licks it up, similar to a dog drinking out of a puddle of water. But the thing that's interesting is that the Indians say that the vampire sits on the victim and spreads and fans with the wings so that you never know it bites you. And that's not so true. What happens is that once it bites, then it goes to the ground and drinks the blood. They also have an anesthetic in their saliva and an anticoagulant. So once the vampire bites you, the blood keeps moving. So it's very interesting. No wonder they chose it for Dracula.
Yeah. How about landing in your hair? Is that a myth?
They don't do that
They
so
don't do
much,
that.
no.
You see, I remember as a kid, they'd say, don't ever go into a cave, they'll go right into your hair.
But you know,
that's not true.
bats, one bat colony like this will be responsible for eating about 600 tons of mosquitoes a year. So a lot of people now, they just had a bat conference down in Florida.
I'm going down to the bat conference.
Dr. Jim Cope of Earlham College went down. He caught these, in fact, and he says that bats are man's best friend.
You see.
How about that?
And also bat guano. In some countries, is a big fertilizer
Exactly.
in industry, isn't it?
You never know.
That's what they do. They package it. You can get bat guano for your plants. Or you can just get one bat and let him do his thing. Messy but effective. You got something spookier than that with us tonight?
I've got a couple other things.
We'll do this commercial first, then we're going to come back. And I understand you got a vulture?
Right.
A vulture. What a wonderful night.
Wolf and a hyena.
We can have the vulture eat the bat right here on our stage. Stay with us. We're going to be right back.
We bought our beauty rest because I sleep like a rock, and Andy sleeps like a flying Orlando. Well, we needed a mattress that could treat us like individuals, and Beauty Rest does because its individually pocketed coils act independently to support not only our backs, but our whole bodies. His hips, my shoulders, his back. So now with our Beauty Rest, I hardly ever roll into Andy anymore, unless I want to.
Beauty Rest by Simmons, the mattress for your whole body.
Here's a new kind of muffin.
Well, who baked those marvelous muffins? We'd really like to know.
I did. Well, with a little help.
Pillsbury Poppin' Fresh Dough.
Love these new quick muffins.
Quick to bake.
And quick to disappear.
Baking's fun.
Yes, they bake those marvelous muffins with Poppin' Fresh Dough.
Bake some more, Grandma?
With Pillsbury Poppin' Fresh Dough.
Life Goes to the Movies, a 3-hour look at the stars, the films, a big event, Sunday at 8, 7 Central.
If you just joined us, we have Mr. Bob Hope with us tonight, Steve Martin, David Horowitz, and Jim Fowler has already...
Whoa.
What?
Wait till you see this.
Jim Fowler is here with some strange animals and birds, and that is a vulture.
Well, I see where he's going.
Ed, you,
where do you want me?
You're all right there. That's
all right.
fine.
Vulture is going to eat the monologue from last night.
It's the person to my left. There we go. Yeah. Set.
For some reason, I thought he would be uglier than that.
Yeah. Well, you know, we tend to judge animals how ugly they are as to whether they look like us or not. But this, it's true. I think a lot of our sensibility.
That is a regular vulture.
Yeah, this is the turkey vulture that's found here in the United States. The reason he's doing that, you know, they have an instinct to sun themselves in the sun. I think he thinks that's the lights. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it is warm.
But you can see why this too has been chosen throughout history as being rather a weird or odd kind of creature.
Are they always red like that in the face?
Well, there are lots of different kinds. This is the turkey vulture, and it has that red head, that naked head, because when they're eating, they carcass. You know, these eat carrion.
Yeah.
And
they always eat things that are dead, right?
Right. This has a very weak foot. He can't. You see, he has a strong beak. Did you see what he was trying to bite there? He can't do much with that, I don't think. But
now, this is from what part of the country?
This is found all over the United States and also in South America. But the head is naked so that the sun can shine on the head after they've eaten and disinfect the bacteria that's there. So
because they get it into the carcass?
Yeah. It's a very functional thing. And this was used, of course, throughout history as a bird that the magicians would carry on their shoulder and all that kind of stuff, you know. Supposed to have mythical powers.
Now, this bird, of course, as I'm voicing all those animal shows, serves the purpose of keeping the plains clean, right?
Exactly. They're extremely important.
Why do they only eat dead things? Anybody ever figure that out?
Well, the one reason it's a lot easier. You know, something that's already been served up there.
That's right. We eat dead cow, don't we? We don't go out and bite a cow in the flank for a hamburger. We wait till he's dead. Naturally, makes sense.
They can't kill their prey. And of course, the way biology works or nature works, every animal has a particular place.
Can he see me?
Yeah. Very well. Yeah, they have extremely good eyes, and he's seeing somebody over in the band over there too.
Well, the band's been dead for a couple of years. Somebody.
Well, you know,
he spotted Tommy and thought, you know, it's safe to go in now.
You know the old thing about the vulture following the guy that's in the desert about to die. A lot of this is true.
They sense if an animal's crippled, don't they? Sometimes
they sure do. They can follow along, and the eyesight is so incredible that they're so familiar with their territory that they'll look down and watch a herd, and if an animal's straggling behind or walking behind or about to die, they'll actually follow along.
Yeah, they can soar for hours.
I remember once I tried in Peru. I laid down on a sand dune and to see if a condor would come check me out and see if I was dead or not. And the results were a little bit too vivid.
They swooped right in?
I looked up about 5 minutes later, and there was a condor right over me. So
if
I
they
apparently
see,
looked quite dead to him.
So the moral is do not sleep on the desert or if you see these birds flying around, because they will come right after you.
Exactly.
What does he normally eat since he's in captivity?
Well, he eats meat, any good protein source, you know. And in fact, in captivity, they like steak. They like the good stuff, you know.
Well, they're not a dumb bird, then. What is that noise back there?
I don't know, but I think...
All righty. Is there a name for the vulture?
I don't know what this vulture's name, but it's...
not important. I wasn't going to call him or anything. Thought maybe he had a name. I didn't want to correspond or anything. I remember vultures as ugly with a long neck.
Yeah.
Must be. Well, that's the famous turkey vulture.
Yeah.
That's the What? What? It's not a swan. What are you talking about? What was making all that noise back there?
We'll find out in a
Is that
minute.
something trying to get out of the cage or in the cage?
Uh-oh.
Now that, I know what that is, a wolf.
That's right. This is one of the rare Arctic wolves. In
Oh,
fact,
that's a beautiful animal.
George Toth from Cougar Hill Ranch up here has this one, and these are very rare to get one that's that beautiful and white. You see that?
That's from the Arctic?
Yeah, and you can pet that one very safely.
Uh-huh, sure.
They're extremely...
I trust you, Jim.
Yeah, I know. That's...
While Jim holds the wolf by the chain, I will pet the wolf.
Come on up. Come on.
Does he have a name?
This one's name is Darcy.
Darcy?
Yeah, and by the way, the vulture's name was Scrooge.
Scrooge was the vulture.
He knows I'm the Alpo man. Look at this.
Come on over. I think he's got a nose to something back there.
I think he's trying to throw a quickie into the couch there.
Come on up. Come on up.
Hey,
Sorry.
come on, Sierra, come on up.
Come on up. Here, come on up and see. Got it.
Well, you don't have to overdo it. I mean, big Arctic wolf.
Yeah, and...
aren't they killers? I mean... aren't Arctic wolves
they're
killers?
not. Well, no. In fact, they've never been recorded actually killing human beings. There's quite a myth about that. In the wild, that is. I'm not sure. But he's doing very nicely.
Has he eaten lately, Jim?
No. Come on down.
5.
Wolf.
Okay. Are these on endangered list?
They are. They are endangered. In fact, there are only 200 of them left in the United States.
Now, why would somebody want to kill...
They frankly do a lot of good in controlling wild game.
Now, how
deer
about
and things like
the
that.
people who have sheep and so forth? They say, well, the wolves are a menace, and
Well, occasionally, that might happen, but there are ways of solving that. Let's see your mouth, huh? They have a much more powerful set of jaws and teeth than a dog has, a German Shepherd, for example. And the eye is quite different from the German Shepherd. You know, the look in the eye.
That's a beautiful animal.
Yeah.
Do wolves go out and bay at the moon?
They definitely do. In fact, baying is sort of like a CB. He likes your buttons there. Baying to the moon is sort of like a CB radio, keeping in contact with the rest of the pack.
I see, so they're really communicating.
They definitely do it on moonlight nights.
Now, well, this one obviously was raised in captivity.
This was raised George Toth.
Yeah.
Very good one.
Well, that's a beautiful animal.
They're incredible animals, and I hope that we can always keep these around in the
gorgeous.
wild.
Gorgeous. That's a wolf. You seen him?
He doesn't want to go.
Not a very brave wolf. He didn't want to step down that little... See, if he was in the wilds, he would have jumped right down. But, ooh, there's a step. See, they lose all of that when they raise in captivity. It's too bad. What do we have now?
Fascinating animal.
A fascinating animal. Fascinating, ugly. Ugly-looking animal. That obviously is a hyena. That's a bad news-looking animal. That's perfect for us.
This is one, I think, of one of the weirdest animals in the world. And you'll very, very seldom see one like this as handleable. They're very unpredictable.
They're like a combination wild dog and...
Yeah. You look at it, the whole thing is weird. The back end slopes down.
It's a strange build.
Very strange. And they are carrion eaters primarily, but they found out that they also kill a lot of animals in Africa. But this is the laughing hyena.
Well, he's in the wrong place. Oh, wait a minute. Let's don't get him excited.
Well, the reason...
If he doesn't feel like laughing, don't make him laugh.
By the way, the reason I'm doing that is that hyenas are very rough with each other.
Yeah.
And for me to act like a hyena with him, which is a good situation, a good thing for me to do here,
yeah,
it'll actually calm him down. So I'm going to show you a little bit how... Come here. Come on. That's right. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. There we go. Come on. Come on.
You certainly got him under control. While Jim controls the wild hyena, I move my raft downstream. Guy walks up to another guy in the street and says, "Got $1 for a cup of coffee?" And the guy says, "Coffee is only a nickel." He says, "I'm a big tipper." Calmed him down a lot, though, didn't it?
That's all right. Come on.
Hyenas travel in packs, don't they? I've seen them in some of those shows that you do where they circle and attack, maybe a dozen of them attack one animal.
Yeah, in fact...
Why is the hyena so unpopular?
I don't know. There's a lot of things, like I say, that's extremely weird about them. They just, they have this supernatural look in their face. You notice these big dark brown
They
eyes.
cannot get it. If you, Bob, can you get a close-up of...
You notice how he's now reacting
It's a
to me?
weird-looking
Yeah.
animal.
You notice
in
how
the
he
face.
came up to me after I was petting them, and they're very weird, and they just don't do things normal. Also, the young ones both have identical sexual organs. I don't know if you...
What do you mean? Both the female and male have the identical?
They have the male
That's what makes them so weird. And unhappy. You know, you walk around, hey, are you one? No? That's got to do.
See, it's very hard.
No, that's got to freak you out by the time you're 2 or 3, you know. Why do they have... He was laughing. Listen to him.
Oh, come on, Joe. Joe, now take it easy.
Dumb name for a hyena anyway.
Come on. Take it easy now. Okay. You see, the whole thing is they're very weird in relation to the, for example, the wolf. But the, yeah, in fact, you can't even tell the difference between male and female till about a year old. And nobody knows why they see it. They're just...
They're born with the same sexual organs.
Both have a penis, in fact. Yeah, the female has a penis until she's about a year old. Very interesting little bit of trivia.
No, that's interesting. Must be been a reason for that.
Yeah,
it just falls
what
off.
It is.
I mean, that was a legitimate jungle question. That's a jungle lore question.
Nobody really knows what the changes that occur, but it's a
Must be kind of depressing when the guy thinks he's a male all that time, and then...
It's a communications device. Let's see if you'll...
All the time he thought he was virile, and, you know...
It's a communication device. I want to make sure he gets some meat here to eat. If he's hungry, he may not be. But anyway, I think hyenas are...
Well, there goes the Alpo commercial.
He's more interested in us, yeah.
His knees.
So another thing is strange,
that.
you know that? And they also are extremely powerful with their jaws. They eat bones, frankly.
That is a strange-looking animal.
Sure is.
Well, Jim, I thank you for bringing us here tonight. Really, it's fascinating. Every time you show up with something.
Well, this was, by the way, raised by a place in Virginia called the Pet-a-Pet Farm, and it's one of, like I say, one of the few tame ones in the United States.
Yeah.
Jack,
Look at Jack.
Jack
You see that?
Crippen.
They sit on their knees.
See where he, yeah.
Well, if your penis fell off, you'd be on your knees, too. Thank you for coming, Jim. Really. I'm sorry. I ain't got it. No hard feelings. I'm sorry about that. I ain't got it. See? They're also a very sensitive animal. Made a remark about his sexual problems, and I think this would be a good time. Yes, why don't we go to a commercial, and Hyena's taking a dip in our lake now. We'll be right back with Bob Hope right after this.
The last time Linda and Charlie had carry-out chicken,
Get the bucket, Charlie.
they saved the bucket. This time, they're saving money with Banquet fried chicken. Banquet comes fully cooked. Just heat and serve in anything you like.
Here comes the chicken.
Banquet is crisp, meaty, and tender, like the carry-out kind. But by comparison, Banquet costs less. Banquet fried chicken. With chicken as good as Banquet, why chicken out?
I've used it for years, for flavoring stews and gravies, for marinating steaks and roasts, like this. John thinks he discovered LaChoy soy sauce for his backyard barbecuing. With LaChoy soy sauce, it's all in how you think of it. I think of it in here, and he thinks of it out there. LaChoy soy sauce. Just think of it.
LaChoy makes Chinese food. Swing American.
Think of it.
That hyena's a strange... You know what that hyena's built like? A Citroen car.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a... Looks a little strange. My next guest, doesn't need any great introduction, but he has got a special coming up. There's going to be some special on Friday, October the 29th. I think it's a special 2-hour broadcast, is it not? Called Bob Hope's World of Comedy. And he's also, I don't know how he does this. We talk about this all the time, the man's schedule. A hospital benefit in Syracuse, New York on November the 5th. University of Vermont Medical Center Hospital in Burlington, November the 7th. And Stephen Austin University in Nacogdoches, Texas. Did I pronounce that right?
Yes.
Anybody here from Nacogdoches? On November the 18th, the one and only Bob Hope.
How are you?
Ever follow a hyena before?
Ooh, you have to be careful where you step back there.
Yeah.
God.
Hey, thank you.
I thought you'd put the hyena in the audience, you know, for your monologue. And I never seen anything. How about that vulture? Is that beautiful? Huh?
Strange-looking animals.
I got to write my agent. I just reminded you.
How you been?
I've been fine.
How do you keep? We talk about it every time I see you on television. Everybody asks the same question. You get tired of answering it. But I've seen you. I know you're going around talking about your special coming up. Celebrating, what, 25 years with...
26.
26? You've been nibbling away at the company here, huh?
Right. I hate to disturb the man that owns it. How are you?
No.
Don't you love him nibbling away at the company?
I've only been around...
Yeah, they tell me the money's coming out with your picture on it. Is that right? Oh, God, you're
No,
off.
I've been with the network almost 15 years, 25, 26,
Oh,
that's
you
a
got
long
as much
time.
money as Crosby. You know, the orange juice Mr. Whipple.
No, what I started to say is...
And you look great. I watch you all the time, and your hair is something, you know?
Well,
Who does your hair, Jack Frost?
Ah, come on. It's just a little premature.
You know my hair used to look like that when I was young?
You mean I've got this to look forward to? If I just sit around a while and wait, it's going to go that way, huh?
Mine's prematurely brown. At least we're not wearing those divots, are we?
No. As long as it's up there, who cares?
I know one actor that, you know, plays golf. He takes a big divot, slaps it on, and goes to work.
Somebody called me the other day from your staff to use a piece of film, something I did with you, I guess, in 1969, one of the sketches. You've got a lot of people on your show.
Oh, yeah.
I know Rickles is on. I know Philip
Got
Durante.
85 comedians on it, that's all. And you're on it.
Yeah.
You're on it. You're doing a piece. We thought we'd bring it to you, but we'll surprise the people tomorrow.
Yeah.
And show you one of your first attempts.
That's right. This was 1968 or 69, I think, on your show.
Your piece?
I think so.
We had a piece. You know, we chopped out 29 minutes the other night. Major surgery, boy.
That's tough, isn't it, to decide what to keep and throw away?
It's just murder. And we had a piece of the first television show I did at KTLA. KTL, not KTLA, right across from Paramount.
I'll bet you that was, what, 1949?
1947.
47.
And they talked me into coming over for the opening, and I walked across the street, and I did this opening routine. And sometime, I talked to Shirley about it today, sometime I've got to bring it on here for you. We got so much stuff going tonight. You know, we're so hot tonight. Anyway.
Have we got something you're not going to use we could show? Or is this stuff you're gonna use in the show?
Where?
That we're going to see.
You're going to see. I think part of the things that we're doing, something like this, anyway. I don't know what you have.
Let's take a
What
look.
do you have, the insults, the
Tell you
dancing?
what, why don't we
have so many different categories. I'll explain it all to you.
Oh, I've watched the monitor. We'll take a look over here. And Bobby, you want to run it? And here's a little preview of what you'll see on the special.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
You mean to tell me you own this place?
I sure do, and it didn't come cheap. I had to pay through the nose.
It's nice of the man to wait that long for his money.
I'll tell you one thing, Bob. Living next door to you sure makes me miss my old neighborhood.
Where was that?
Next to the monkey yard at Griffith Park Zoo.
Well, Professor, I've come to the conclusion that you're the cream of the idiots. Thanks, sugar.
Well, you've grabbed a slew of gold records in your great career, and you're always way up there in the charts. What's your secret?
Well, there's no secret, Bob. I just stick to the good old standards. People never get tired of hearing familiar things they've heard 1,000 times, but I don't have to tell you that.
You know, you got more laughs with your sax than I got with my jokes. Actually, I was just learning to tell jokes in those days.
Bob, I finally learned to play the sax.
Well, I don't know how you women stand it.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, the mud packs, facials, massages, hours under the hair dryer. It's ridiculous.
You're so right. By the way, Antoine said to say hello to you.
No, I don't understand. You're a singer, and Joey Lewis, one of our great comedians. Why didn't they hire a comedian to play the part?
What's it to you?
What is it you want? Well, I'm taking over, you know. I'm replacing you.
You, the new coach?
Absolutely.
I can't believe it. It's like replacing Air Force One with a skateboard.
You remind me of someone, but I can't think of who.
Everyone says that, you know. You're fully dressed, they think I'm Paul Newman. But in my swim trunks, I remind them of Reynolds.
Really?
Yeah.
Bert or Debbie?
Well,
What do you think?
I think I'll buy an electric blanket.
You know what? I just can't wait to see Debbie Reynolds. She's so beautiful, and she can dance and sing.
I can't wait to hear Bob Hope's jokes. He'll be brilliant.
You see, there's the difference between you and me, Father. I'm expecting entertainment, and you're expecting miracles.
We got to take a break. We'll be right back. Stay here.
Samantha Agar for Color Track from RCA.
My eyes are green, my hair is auburn, and my dress is vivid red. RCA wanted me to tell you the right colors because getting the color right is what their exclusive color track system is all about. It's a remarkable development that actually adjusts color and keeps it on track.
Before you see the color track system grabs it, aligns it, defines it, sharpens it, tones it, and locks the color on track.
RCA is making television better and better.
Did you know there's a very special dog food with so much protein that high protein is its middle name? It's from Purina, and it's terrific for normally active dogs, like yours. It's the dog meal with the blue and white checkerboard. But most important, it has more protein for active dogs than any other leading dog food. Purina High Protein Dog Meal. So rich in protein that high protein is its middle name.
We're back. Yeah, we were just talking about... I said, what do you think about the election? Nobody seems to know right now which way it's going to go.
I hear Carter was at appearing on the Medical Center show the other night.
Really?
Getting a lust transplant.
If you don't get them out, they ain't going to do no good, no.
No, I love it. You don't do that in the straight line. You always do it on the punchline, you know? You know what I was telling Pat McCormick, but when that vulture was out here,
right.
You remember the great story about the farmer that had the 200 chickens, the 200 turkeys, and the 200 ducks, and he wasn't getting any eggs. And the guy said, hey, you need a rooster. You know that story?
Go ahead.
And I love it. You know it, don't you?
Go on.
But you are going to laugh for me. I've laughed for you many times. Guy said, get a rooster. He did. And about in a week, he had 200 duck eggs, 200 chicken eggs, 200 turkey eggs. And he went out in the barnyard to congratulate the turkey. And the rooster. And here's the rooster laying flat out like that with a vulture flying over him. And he walked up to the rooster and he said, hey, I just want to tell you, and the rooster said, shh. Oh, it's a beauty. It's a beautiful joke.
I heard somebody laughing back there while Fowler
that was
out.
a hyena, wasn't it?
Oh, I see that. How come?
No, you said who's making all the noise? The hyena's beating the boxes back there.
How come NBC didn't talk you into doing your special on the big event?
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's,
I thought that would happen to you.
Just when they
I
talk
thought
to
sure
us.
you'd be on the first show. No, let me tell you something. No, everybody's doing that. And you did a thing, huh?
Well, we did our
Everybody,
anniversary,
NBC's doing, you're doing the NBC thing.
The 50th anniversary.
You could do a whole special just on guest stars, you know, after the commercial that sit here and say, what a great band.
Just nothing else.
That's all, just that.
What a great band.
Everybody does it.
50 years. You know, they were going crazy, NBC, trying to find the early days of radio, a lot of the tapes. Did they save all of your old radio tapes?
Oh, God, they've got everything.
Everything?
Oh, I think so. I think they've got it all. We've got all the stuff to film is something else. Looking through that stuff, it's like Jaja going through her old wedding albums, you know.
Is there anybody you've ever tried to get on one of your shows that you haven't been able to get, that you wanted?
Yeah, the Pope. We almost had the Pope.
Did he want reruns or what?
What? No, we did. I'm not kidding.
You mentioned that one.
No, somebody called me from Rome, a friend of mine, Harry Saltzman. He said, how would you like to have the Pope for Christmas? You know, and he's not an agent. You know Harry Saltzman. And I said, say, what are you're mad. You know, he's not going to be on a commercial. He said, yeah, he's going to be. And we sent him expense money to try to get, because the Pope needed some money for the rooms of Orphan. And we thought, maybe, you know, maybe we get in. And Dolores has sort of a direct line anyway, you know.
That's what I hear.
And so,
was it close?
Well, there was a whole thing, and I finally went to Frank Stanton, who was then chairman of the board of NBC, or RCA, the head man. And I called him, I said, Frank, do you think there's a chance? I gave him the whole conversation. I said, do you think the Pope would appear on my show? He said, for Chevrolet? That was the answer. I guess the Chevrolet wasn't high enough for him. I don't know. You know,
So you never got him?
No.
Anybody outside of the Pope?
I don't know.
Haven't been able to get on.
I don't know. Is there?
I've always wanted to get Cary Grant on this show, and every time I run into him, I say, when are you going to come on with us? He says, I'd be scared to death. I'd love to do it. I want you, but I'd be scared to death.
Oh, don't you love him? Don't you love him? And he's so great. You know, and he's so I don't know why he does that. He went down to Houston with me to the Superdome down there, and he was fantastic, you know.
But I guess
walked down the
live
stage,
television.
we did all the old bits, we did the Victory Caravan, and I've been trying to get him. You're right, I'm trying to get him. I couldn't get him.
Do you still dancing at all? When are you going to do the road
We
trip?
have, on
The reason
this
I brought
show,
that up-
we have 14 minutes of me dancing with everybody. With Pearl Bailey, with Ann Margaret, you know, with George Burns, with everybody you can think of that dances.
Well,
Joey
you
Heatherton.
You started as a dancer. You were a...
Naturally, I started as a hoofer, yeah.
You were a hoofer?
Mm-hmm.
Do a little hoofing for me.
No,
Just a
not at this
Just
money,
a
John.
couple.
No!
For You'll never leave it. Like riding a bike. When you're a hoofer, you're a hoofer.
Yeah, I'll be in an iron lung in 20 minutes.
Well, Jimmy Cagney always said, once you're a hoofer...
We got Jimmy Cagney
You got
hoofing
Jimmy?
on the show.
Oh,
we got
that's sensational.
everybody hoofing on the show.
Hey, look, I thank you for coming tonight. I know you're going to do a guest shot on Sermonette later.
Yes, we are. I've actually got to do 2 shows here after you.
It wouldn't surprise me. I don't know how you do
really
it.
am.
Hey, thanks for coming.
Thank you, John.
Specials tomorrow
Good
night?
to see you. Right.
Tomorrow night, Indy. He wasn't joking when he said he's got two more shots. I've never seen anybody have that schedule and hold up like he does. And he is not 39 anymore.
No.
We will do this. We'll be right back. We have Steve Martin and we have David Horowitz.
What a game! Hey, let's go to McDonald's.
Yeah, if Al could ever find his car.
You're the one that we've been looking for. You're the one our quarter pounder's looking for.
When you're really hungry, we've got what you're looking for. Come to McDonald's for a Coca-Cola and a Quarter Pounder. Lots of juicy 100% pure beef, and they're always easy to find.
McDonald's, we do it all for you.
Ready when you are, and even when you aren't there. Betty Crocker, ready to spread. Frosty, smooth and spreadable. But what's so incredible? It's ready when you are and when you aren't.
Betty Crocker ready-to-spread frosting is the kind of smooth frosting you'd make yourself if you had the time. So when you need great frosting right now, all it takes is a little pull.
Betty Crocker, ready to spread. Frosty.
John Wayne is McHugh, first time on TV, Saturday at 9, 8 Central on NBC.
Great band, as our guests always say. Great band. Steve Martin is here tonight. Steve has a bizarre sense of humor.
Yes.
He knocks me out. He'll be performing at the Troubadour here in Los Angeles tomorrow night through Sunday, and then he's going to be appearing at the Golden Bear in Huntington Beach, California on Monday and Tuesday. Would you welcome back Steve Martin?
Thank you. Be starting in just a few moments. Just waiting for the drugs to take effect, and then... Okay, there we go. Now, I'm kind of excited tonight. I have a book coming out, and I'm pretty proud of it. It's psychological work. It's called How to Get Along with Everyone. I didn't work on it alone. I worked with this other jerk ex-friend of mine, and so I hope you get that. But that's it. No, seriously, I do have a book coming out. It's titled How I Turned $1 Million in Real Estate into $25 in Cash. I hope you get that. So, we ready now? Okay, let's go. You know, I kind of think comedy should be based on real experience. So, right now I'd like to do a little thing that happened to me titled The Day the Dopes Came Over. I was sitting at home, peeking through the blinds at my neighbor's wife, minding my own business, when I heard a knock at the door. "Who's there?" I shouted. "We don't know." I knew immediately that the dopes had come over. I opened the door and invited them in, glad to have company even if they were a bunch of dopes. "Well, what brings you by this way?" "Yup." "Would you like some coffee?" "No, thanks. I think I'll just sit here and suck on this table." He clamped his lips firmly around the table, but still listened intently to the rest of our conversation. "Gall," said one dope. "How long have we been here?" "Oh, about 2 minutes." "Gall, we should have left hours ago." And they packed up some of my things and lumbered out. "Goodbye, dopes," I shouted. And the dopes turned and shouted back, "Goodbye, you big stupid idiot." Thank you. Okay, and now it's time for a movie review, The Hindenburg. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Am I on yet? I am. Okay, then I'm going to keep going. Let's get going now. Hey! You people are weird. Okay. Interested in magic, and You always see these magicians come out and they do these production tricks, you know, but they always have on these big coats and everything, and you know pretty much where it's coming from. But I'm going to do a trick tonight that kind of gets around that problem. I picked this up. I was in Egypt this morning, and I learned this trick, and I'd like to do it for you now. So here we go. Let's not waste any more time. Let's go. Hey! Hit it. Perfect. All right. Okay, here we go. You still on? No problem on that. All right. Here we go. Okay. Pretty good tan, huh? Yeah. I've been working on this all summer, boy. Cost me plenty to get it, but I'm pretty proud. Okay. Isn't it funny how it's okay to take off your pants if you have on funny underwear? If I had regular underwear on, people go, oh, no. Funny underwear, they go, Okay, here we go. Here we go. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Want to make all the bright things in your house shine like this? It's easy with Glass Plus, the glass appliance and cabinet cleaner, all in one. Just squeeze the trigger and it cleans glass without streaking. And Glass Plus cleans appliances, plus cabinets, plus plastic, plus chrome, plus a whole lot more. Glass Plus, the glass appliance and cabinet cleaner, all in one.
Diarrhea is not much fun in weather like this. You can feel just as miserable inside as it is outside. But don't let diarrhea get you down, because Pepto-Bismol controls common diarrhea. It helps relieve the misery and the nausea that you can get along with it. Pepto-Bismol for common diarrhea. It can help get you back on your feet again.
We are back. Steve is getting dressed. Yes, put on the shoes. Yeah. I see you all over the place. You're working every place. In television, personal appearances, concerts, nightclubs.
Johnny, I hope this doesn't offend you, but do you smell like a hyena, or am I just...
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I thought it was...
Thought it was me.
Yeah. Animals do have a tendency to...
Well, listen. Okay, I want to explain this. I thought this would be an interesting thing to do on the Tonight Show, which we're on now. When you're in show business, you have to have an answering service. And because you're out of town all the time, and calls are constantly coming in for work and things like that, so you have to have an answering service, but the ones that you hire for like $35 a month are really poor. You know, you call them, they go, hold, wait, hold, so you can't understand. So I bought a telephone answering machine. that answers your phone. And this is a little beeper.
I see.
And you play this into the phone and it retrieves your calls. And you can leave it's a recording. You leave a little recording and with a little joke if you want, which I have on mine. And
a little humor when people call.
Oh, yeah. And then they can leave a recorded message. So I thought it'd be interesting to do it on the Tonight Show. I haven't been home for like 2 weeks, so there should be messages.
Do you actually call them?
Yeah. To call them up here on the show and get the messages.
Well, I didn't know what this
so
was.
That's
I
why
saw
we
it, and I
rigged
didn't
this
know.
up.
All right.
And I thought it'd be interesting for the people to...
We checked it out before, and somebody said the phone company could put a line in.
Yeah. I thought it'd be interesting for people to hear what a professional comedian in show business, kind of messages that they get. So
let's give
them a call. Ready? Now, the first thing you'll hear is the recorded message, which is me, and then I beep this, and you'll hear it rewind, and then the messages will play back. Can I pencil and paper?
Sure.
In case I have.
That's right, you're in case some work shows up.
Hello, this is Steve Martin. I'm away from the phone right now, so your call is being answered by an expensive telephone answering machine, who is also, incidentally, my wife. So if you'll leave your message when you hear the beep, I'll be happy to call you back.
Now that triggers the rewind.
Did it rewind it?
Now it plays back all the messages you
Right.
Hello, Steve. This is Fred down in the garage. Yeah, we were able to fix that lighter. No problem at all. Cost about $8, I guess. Please call when you get in.
All right.
Steve, this is Jimmy Hoffa. Give me a call when you get a chance.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow, meow.
It's my cat.
Steve, this is Trudy. Don't be embarrassed about the other night. It can happen to any guy. Hello, Steve. This is Victoria. Don't be embarrassed about the other night. Any guy. It doesn't mean you're not a man. Talk to you later.
Steve, this is Bill. Don't be embarrassed. Steve, sorry to bother you again. This is Ernie down at the garage. You know that cigarette lighter that we fixed? We have a real problem down here. It's really the whole electrical system of the car. It's going to cost you about $350. Call me right away, will you?
Meow, 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 meow.
Call back. Cat. Call back.
Steve, this is Ted. I found your earring. Bye.
Hello, Steve. This is Ernie down at the garage again. You know, this car, we're having all sorts of problems with it. We're going to have to junk it out. It's going to cost you about $8,000. However, Steve, we were able to save that lighter. Come down here.
We'll be right back. All right.
Heinz ketchup is thick
Thick.
and rich.
Rich.
If it came out any faster, it just wouldn't be Heinz.
Oh.
Anticipation. Anticipation is making me wait.
Thick, rich, and delicious Heinz ketchup. Nothing else is quite the same.
When you want a tasty snack, snack goes granola.
Snack goes the family. Here's granola in crunchy bars. New from Nature Valley. 100% natural ingredients, no additives, no preservatives.
Rolled oats and honey, coconut and cinnamon flavors.
All delicious.
Snack goes granola.
Wholesome treats your whole family will enjoy. New Nature Valley granola bars.
Snack goes granola.
David Horowitz is the consumer advocate for station KNBC here in Los Angeles. He also hosts a local television program, a fine show called California Byline, every Monday night at 7:30. Would you welcome David Horowitz? Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry I got you out late again. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's all right, because tonight we're going to talk about getting people where they eat. We've had a lot of talk about that.
Yeah. You investigated restaurants, you mean?
We have investigated restaurants, and I'm sure that a lot of folks don't know that when the restaurant menu says that the bacon comes from Iowa, whether it really comes from Iowa.
Is that illegal if they say that and it doesn't?
Oh, yes, it is. Or if the pastrami is kosher, when they say kosher pastrami, or whether the potatoes are from Idaho, when they say they're Idaho potatoes, or Maine blueberries, or things like that.
How do you find that out?
Well, you find that out. For the average person, it's a little difficult. Like how many people would go back and say to the restaurant operator, hey, show me the bill, to prove that it comes from the place where they say it does. But I will show you some. What happened to our thing, Johnny? They're right over there. Okay, I'll go back and get it. Like, for instance, a lot of restaurants will say that they have different flavored Jell-O.
Right.
Now, here's a gelatin that is not Jell-O, but they advertise as Jell-O. Now, in Los Angeles County and a lot of places across the country, if you advertise Jell-O, it better be Jell-O and not a gelatin dessert, or you pay a $2,500 fine if you're caught. Okay?
Jell-O is a trade name, of course, but it's almost become a generic name.
That's right.
So
another thing is, if they say that it is syrup, like say that it's real maple syrup, and they serve you pancake and waffle syrup, then that is a violation because it is misrepresenting what they're giving you, correct?
I see.
But
more corn syrup, water, sugar syrup, salt.
All these things. But one thing, Johnny, how many of you have soup here? You ever drink soup in a restaurant?
Sure.
Do you prefer the cup or the bowl?
I usually get a cup.
You usually get a cup. All right, Johnny, I'm going to have you pour this cup of soup, which in a Los Angeles restaurant cost 40 cents.
Just a cup of soup.
Right.
That's about the way it would be.
Okay, that's about the cup of soup. Now, can we see that? Can we see the cup of soup?
Now, this is the bowl.
No, no, don't pour it in the bowl.
Don't pour.
Now, the cup is 40 cents, and the bowl is 65 cents. Now, I want to take the soup from the cup and pour it into the bowl and see how much you get.
You get a cup of soup.
You get a cup of soup.
You get a bowl of
soup. Now,
soup.
many people don't know, they get this and they don't say anything about it. They just don't say anything about it.
Just because of the shape of the thing, the same amount.
We even had our commissary we caught in a couple of things. They had kosher short ribs of beef.
Kosher short?
Now,
NBC commissary?
NBC commissary. Now, if a rabbi had walked in and said, well, it's kosher here, we'll have the short ribs of beef, right? But it was not kosher. It was kosher-style short ribs of beef. Now, we didn't turn them into the health department.
Turn them in. I demand that you turn them in, David, and send them up.
We didn't turn them into the health department, but we got them to say kosher-style short ribs of beef. They pulled another one with a fowl meal, which they have quite a few over the commissary. They advertised a whole fowl product when they were only giving you a half. So they had to put a half up.
Couldn't say whole chicken dinner. It was a half a chicken.
Right, it was a half. But the point that I'm trying to make to all of you is that if you go to a restaurant and something says that it's supposed to be that and it isn't on the menu, you should find out what it is. Now, if the restaurant gives you a hard time, there's a way to get back at the restaurant. Most health departments across the country have people called sanitarians. They have them in L.A. County, and they have them in other places. They will go out and check to see if the bay Gulf shrimp actually comes from the Gulf. They check the vouchers, or whether the fresh fish is fresh or whether it's frozen. And if anything tastes funny to you or it looks a little strange to you in the restaurant, then you should call the health department and report these people. For instance, in Los Angeles, they got one restaurant, Johnny, they found over 20 violations on the menu. They were serving chicken salad that was made with turkey. They were serving imported Swiss cheese that was domestic Swiss cheese. But how do we know this? Our tastes are not that sophisticated. Right. So if you suspect it, you should really go after them.
How about prime rib?
Oh, that's
that's
one of the biggest rip-offs anywhere, because prime rib means nothing unless it is United States Department of Agriculture prime rib. Now, what they do is they say prime rib because they give you what they call an ungraded no-roll product, which could cost considerably less. It could be choice, it could be ungraded meat, and they say it's prime. The only way to get prime rib is if it is United States Department of Agriculture prime, or if they say it is prime choice rib, which means that it's USDA choice. Right. Now, restaurants, you might say, Johnny, do they do this intentionally? Now, I have found, through my contacts with these inspectors, that many restaurants do this to try to rip us off. A lot of restaurants they will say, you know, it's this style or that style and make an innocent mistake. But there's a lot of money to be made in the restaurant business if you're serving an ungraded beef as prime rib and you're using it as prime rib and it isn't. So what you ought to do, if, you know, everyone eats prime rib.
This is a pretty good illustration right here.
That's a pretty good illustration of it. You know, why you go into your restaurant and order a cup of soup and then ask for the bowl and pour it in. And in most cases, you will find that that cup of soup is equal to a bowl of soup, and you'll pay 25, 30, 40, 50, whatever.
Is that a violation, though?
It is a violation. It is misrepresentation, and it is deception.
It's still a bowl of soup, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is a bowl of soup, but it has the same quantity as a cup of soup.
So it's a cup and a bowl.
It's a cup and a bowl. How many of you would be angry about that?
Well, I'm angry right now.
Okay. Don't think it.
I'm eat off right now. We'll be right back. Turn in the conversation.
Charlie, baby.
Hey.
What you got, fish?
A do-it-yourself kit for Starkist type tunas. The hook has sequence to show good taste.
All right.
Okay, Starkist, catch!
Yeah, man, but Starkist doesn't want tunas with good taste.
Ready?
Starkist wants tunas that taste good.
Sorry, Charlie. Only good-tasting tuna get to be Starkist. Good-tasting 100% tuna fillet.
This is good-tasting tuna.
Get good taste. Get Starkist.
Why do you think Ore-Ida French fries are America's favorite brand?
Simple. First of all, the color is such a beautiful golden brown. And when you bite into them, they feel so crispy and crunchy. And the inside is so nice and fluffy. To sum it all up, I'd say they really taste good.
Ore-Ida, America's favorite brand of frozen potatoes, because they really taste good.
I'm going over and make a citizen's arrest at the commissary. Anybody want to come with me? Look, I know we had a short amount of time tonight, but you want to get everything in. This is something that the average person would not think of when you eat out in a restaurant.
But they should, Johnny.
And you really should say, hey, may I see whether this is prime or see whether this is fresh fish? How can they prove that it's fresh fish?
What if they say advertise it's fresh and it's not?
Well, that is a violation, and that's in L.A. County, $2,500, and they take it to court.
In other words, they have to produce receipts.
They have to show that it's fresh fish.
Thank you, David, again. Thank you, Steve. Carnac, Shelley Winters, Gladys Knight, the Phipps, Los Indios, Copperheart, and Johnny Bench of the Cincinnati Reds. Good night.